Hi everyone, it's Don from Don's Field of Dreams Cards with my new layout here. Even though it looks the same, I was using a green tablecloth before, and my wife said I needed something a little nicer, and she bought me this fabric material here. So we tore out the artificial turf and put in the grass. So today, what I wanted to share was some of my favorite cards from 2020. These are not necessarily the most expensive. They're not ranked by growth in price. Offhand, I do not know what I paid for these cards. I do have a spreadsheet, but I did not look at it for this. And I don't know what they're selling for at the moment. They're just cards that I really wanted and was fortunate enough to get in this past year. So I'm going to start off with the 1951 Bowman Larry Doby. This is for my PSA Hall of Famer collection. I just love the artwork of the 51 Bowmans, and the shape of this one in the four I thought was outstanding. The next one is my 1958 Orlando Cepeda rookie card. I am not a rookie card collector, but I do have some rookie cards purely because I just like the card a lot. I'm not a fan of the dual or quad rookie cards, so I don't have Seaver, Bench, Ryan, Phil Niekro, Willie Stargell. Just those cards don't appeal to me as much as the single player card. Someday down the road, maybe I'll start a rookie Hall of Famer collection, and I obviously would add those cards, but as of right now, not high on my list. Next card is the second year card of Billy Williams. I'm a big fan of the trophy cards. Was originally going to try collecting them all until I did some research and saw how many there are, and have decided to pass on that. This card goes in my SGC collection, and it's the new label there. Speaking of Johnny Bench earlier, I've always loved this card and was fortunate enough to get it this year, the 1969 Topps Johnny Bench. And again, trophy card and a PSA 5. And some of these grades, I believe I don't have anything higher than a 7 in here, and a lot of 4s and 5s. But I look at a card like this, and it looks beautiful to me. It looks way higher than a 5. And for my collection, I try to get 4 or higher. Although with prices now, I have dipped into 3.5s and 3s. But I'm not looking to sell these. This is my personal collection, and outside of you guys, no one else really sees them. So glad I get to share them with everyone on here. 1954 Jackie Robinson for the PSA collection. One of the cards I'm missing for my SGC collection, and boy, it's getting tougher to find cards of his in a price range that I can afford. So feel very fortunate to have this one as well. One of the iconic cards, I feel, in the collection. Added a 1969 Topps Nolan Ryan, another card that I absolutely have always loved. And again, the condition of this for a 5 to me is unbelievable. The next two cards I'm going to show you are of the same player, and they're two cards I've always wanted for my collection. And that is, oops, some little problems here. 1954 Topps Warren Spahn and then 1958 Topps Warren Spahn. Again, you can see I have one for the PSA part of my collection and the SGC part of my collection. And it's pretty safe to say in here, if it's an SGC card, it's going to go in my SGC collection, PSA, with a few exceptions, and I'll point those out. The 58 was very hard to find without a bunch of fish eyes. I think this one only has maybe one right here, but otherwise great condition. And then the 54 is in one of my highest grades, and that's another card. Just always wanted this card, so very excited to have that. Another card that I've always wanted is Lou Brock's 1963. As you can see here, a lot of these cards are their second year cards, although I do like his rookie card as well. I just do not have it at this time, and it is a single player card. I actually had this card before, and I did have it, I believe, in a 7.5, but I think it was PSA. I mentioned in the video when around 2008, 2009, I had to sell my collection. So very excited that I was able to add this Lou Brock back into my collection. Another 1954 card that I really like and excited to have is the Whitey Ford. This set just really sticks out to me, and outside of the, I don't know what we want to call that, action shot or whatever, that most of Whitey Ford's cards look like, this one just has a little bit of a different view. So, again, love that card. This one here is not part of the SGC collection, even though it is an SGC card. It is for my 1956 Topps. Again, fortunate enough to get this earlier in the year. A lot of these cards, not sure if I could get right now. And here is the Willie Maze for my SGC collection in a 5.5. Centering's a little bit off, but again, for my collection, that's not a problem. And I've just always thought this was a great card. I'm going to show you a non-graded card that I picked up for the 1956 set as well, and that's Roberto Clemente. I typically don't buy raw. This is a trusted seller that I bought from before, and I think a lot of people who buy off of this guy will recognize the back of this card and who it is, because all his cards come with this identification number. I guess that's how he tracks his cards. And I plan on sending this to SGC, although I don't know if you can see here. I didn't notice this in the auction. Let me pull it out. This might be easier. There's a little black mark right here. It almost looks like a pen mark. It's not a pin mark. It doesn't go all the way through. And, you know, that's not the fault of the seller. That's the fault of me for not noticing it. But I can live with that because the rest of the card looks great. Maybe someday down the road I replace it. But I am going to send this one in to get graded sometime this year. Next, this card here. I saw this card on eBay, and I had never seen it before, this 1941 Play Ball Bobby Doerr. And I bought this because I think this is one of the most beautiful baseball cards I've ever seen. This is truly artwork, in my opinion. It just spoke to me, and I already had a PSA Bobby Doerr for my collection that I ended up cracking out and sending it to SGC because I loved how this card looked. I could look at this card all day. If this was a painting size, absolutely frame it. From my Pittsburgh Pirates, picked up Ralph Keiner this year. Another card that I originally had and replaced this year. I'm going to show you another set of two cards. My favorite Bob Feller is probably his 1952 Topps. I have 3 Bob Feller cards, and none of them are 1952. I also have the 56 for my 56 collection you don't see here. The one on the left, the 53, I got at a really good price, and I like the looks of it. And again, as with the Bobby Doerr, the Bowman Feller right here, I just fell in love with the looks of this card. And in the grade that it is, a 5, I'm just amazed at, you know, how some of these look in these grades. I think they're much nicer than some of the grades I've seen, higher grades. But then you look at, you know, I'll show you in another card here. I can't believe the card's graded that low, and then I see other cards in the same grade, and I'm like, how's it graded that high? Again, another rookie card that I absolutely have always loved is this Juan Maricel. Ray from Philly did a whole episode on this card, I think for his, I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, 300 top cards or 300 cards of the century or something like that. I'm sure you guys all know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name right now, but great looking card. This card is probably comes up as one of the top 5 nicest looking cards in all of cards, baseball cards, and that's the 1953 Bowman Pee Wee Reese. Another card that I replaced from the collection. Centering is not as great as I like it to be, but all my cards do not have paper loss or wrinkles or creases, and this is a collection iconic card here. And again, these are all cards that I don't believe I've ever shown before. So there are some other cards that I love in my collection, but they've been shown one way or another in a video. 1971 Topps, Roberto Clemente, one of my favorite players from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Unfortunately, I wasn't old enough to see him play. My only complaint about SGC with these 71s, as much as, or as good as they show up for a lot of cards, I think the card gets lost a little bit with the black on black. Unless you look at it very closely, you know, it just kind of blends in with the tux. But other than that, love this card. Another card I wasn't looking for per se, but I saw it on eBay. And as some of you guys know, sometimes you just see a card, like I have to have that card. And actually the next card I'm going to show you was the same feeling. I'd shown you the player's card earlier of a different version, but this Ralph Keiner. I saw this card on eBay and was like, I just have to have it. So excited to have that for the collection. And then the final card I'll show you is my 1963 Mickey Mantle I pulled up this year. This is what I was talking about when I can't believe this only has a 4, but yet I see other 4s, and it's like, how is that not a 2? The center on this looks great to me. The corners look great. I know there's some issues down here. You know, I'm not expecting this to be a 8 or 9, but you know, I guess this is why I'm not a grader, because I would give this a 6. But again, it doesn't matter. It's just a great looking card and excited to have it. So as always, guys, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble on here a little bit about what we all love with our baseball card collections. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.